What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And today we are reviewing Monster House. Let's go ahead and read the review. The synopsis. Jumping straight into this review. No adults to believe the three youths that a neighboring residence is a living creature that means them harm. With Halloween approaching, the trio must find a way to destroy the structure before innocent trick-or-treaters meet ghastly ends. First thing I gotta say, for a one of these mocap movie animated films, this is actually one of the better ones. Because they look like actual cartoons, and they're not trying to emulate real looking people. It's not like the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers movie from earlier this year. They don't have those Polar Express eyes. And that really works to the film's credit. And the film does have a pretty decent cast as well. I know Steve Buscemi gets a lot of crap because he's part of a lot of those comedies and everything. But Steve Buscemi is actually pretty funny sometimes. And actually he's really good at the emotional moments in this movie. I think it's done really well when he plays Mr. Nevercracker. Looking at the cast, there's only one other person that I recognize, and that is Mitchell Musso. And I believe he was on Hannah Montana. But he's the only other one that I recognize. DJ is the main character. He's the only other one I recognize. But the rest of the voice cast did a pretty good job, and the mocap work is pretty good too, for the most part. There are little times where it's like, oh, okay, and sometimes, but look, the design of the house is one of the movie's greatest assets, I guess you could say. One of the greatest things about the movie is the way this house is designed, the monsterness of it, and the unknown about this stuff. Obviously, you get to see more about it as the movie goes on. But overall, it is done completely, interestingly, I'd say. Now, with that being said, the movie does have a few problems, not a lot. Sometimes some of the animation looks a little off, and sometimes there's the disposable characters, and they're not so funny lines. But besides that, I think I enjoy this movie. It's got a lot of funny moments. It's got some heartfelt moments that I really wouldn't expect from a movie called Monster House. And actually, it's definitely I feel like a lot of kids enjoy this movie because it's like some of those kids that they feel like they're too old for Halloween and stuff like that, or go trick or treating and stuff. And that's what the drama that some of our characters go through in here. And I obviously, it's very interesting to see the way they go about that, obviously. It's still fun. It's simple. There's nothing, groundbreaking with this film. But getting to see some of the flashbacks in this with Nevercracker and Constance are actually done really well. And seeing Nevercracker is definitely probably my favorite character in the movie. And there is some fun comedy there. And also there's some jokes that very much hit, and there's some that just don't hit. They're just but they're not ugh, that joke was awful. But no, it's just okay, that joke just didn't work. There's this one sequence that I don't really know why was there, where they go to this gamer to get ask about help to take down the house. Doesn't really go much anywhere. Just to see him come back later and the dating the babysitter or whatever, which also I feel like you could have done a little more with the babysitter character, which isn't a bad thing. She's actually you like her a bit. And there's this other character that shows up in the movie named Bones, I think is his name, and I feel like he could have been written out of the movie completely. I didn't really feel like that character needed to be there or anything like that. That's my main complaint about the movie. Is not my main complaint. That's one of my complaints about the movie. But I feel like the movie's atmosphere, definitely even before they go to the house, they do that pretty well. When they're in the house, the atmosphere is not as gripping. But when they're outside of the house and everything, and then the giant chase at the end with the house is definitely, especially when it gets all broken up and everything, and the emotional of Nevercracker having to deal with this whole situation because I think that's his wife and everything, and the reveal is done pretty good. It's kind of like makes you think a little bit like at the start of the movie where like Nevercracker first has this little like heart attack. Why can't you? He goes like, why can't you just leave her? And it's like he's about to say her, and like wait, what was he about to say? And like you learn more down the line in the movie, like oh, this whole thing with is like his wife died and her soul possessed the house or something like that. And it's done relatively interesting. I think it's done to a very fun. That's the way to describe this movie. Fun. And I feel like for little kids, this might be genuinely scary for some little kids. Personally, I don't think this would have. One thing I don't know if anyone knows about this. There was like this channel that I used to watch back in the day called FearNet. I think that's what it was called. And this aired on it one time. It was a place for horror movies and stuff. This aired on it one time, and I always thought that was a little kind of fun, interesting. That was there, made it kind of feel like interesting. Like I'm a kid watching this on this. Imagine anyone else. Anyway, I do think the movie does have a lot of fun, and it does work with its strengths, and its weaknesses aren't that big of weaknesses. There are some scenes where I'm like, okay, we could have left this out. Okay, here's a pee joke. Okay. And there's like the girl comes in the picture, both the boys like her and everything. That's a little. But besides that, like mostly of the time, you're having fun with this movie. You think it's fun. That's pretty much everywhere this movie goes. You're having fun with it, and that's pretty much everything. You're having fun, and you're enjoying these set pieces. Oh, and there's these two cops. One of them is actually played by I forgot his name. It's played by Kevin James, which is just hilarious. And Nick Cannon plays the other cop, and they're funny. Like Nick Cannon's like the rookie cop and everything. And he's Nick Cannon's character's kind of a little dumb. These are other characters. I just looked at the rest of the cast list just to remember. Also, I don't even know why I didn't bring this up, but Steven Spielberg is an executive producer on this, and you can definitely feel his influence with the movie and some of the atmosphere and some of the shots. You can definitely feel his influence in the film. And also, so Robert Zemeckis is also a producer on this film. Pretty much everyone else, I don't really know who a lot of these people are. I'm trying to look at them because I don't want to mess up like I did earlier. Yeah, it's a fun movie. Critics give this movie a 75%, which I'm actually very surprised by. I thought critics would be lower for the critics. And audiences give it a 64%. Me, personally, I think a solid middle ground for a 3.5 film is probably a good place to put this movie. I know a lot of that, the rating system makes no sense sometimes. It kind of contradicts some stuff I said about movies previously. It kind of contradicts itself sometimes. But that's really all I've got to say for today's review. This is another VTR's Creepy Frights video, and there's only like a few days left, guys, of VTR's Creepy Frights. So we only got just a few days left. So we got a few more videos coming. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys have any suggestions for any other Creepy Frights videos for the rest of Creepy Frights, let me know down in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next video. I don't know what that was. I had a thought and it left my mind. Bye!